Dear Lord, blessed be your word, the mouth that speaks, the ears that hear, and the hearts that understand. Amen. Welcome to Children's Center Sunday. We are so glad that you are here to celebrate this wonderful program. Many of you may be wondering, why is he up there? Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Thayer Montague, and I have the privilege of serving as the board chair of the St. James Children's Center. For those of you that do know me, you're probably wondering, who let him up there? More on my suspect past in a moment. I know there are many people here who have a long history with the Children's Center, but for others, I thought it might be worthwhile to provide a bit of background. The St. James Children's Center provides early childhood education to 70 children each year, ranging in age from 2 to 10. Our students include children from working families, families with limited socioeconomic resources, and children with developmental delays and disabilities. The Children's Center was founded over 30 years ago when St. James parishioners Kathy and John Conrad needed a quality program for their son who was developmentally delayed. The Conrads teamed up with Geraldine Johnson, an amazing special education teacher in Richmond. St. James's donated classroom space for that initial summer program and continues to support the Children's Center through financial contributions and in-kind donations of space and resources. In fact, the Children's Center is the largest outreach effort of our parish. However, as grateful as we are for this support, the Children's Center raises an additional $500,000 each year to operate the school, and we are blessed that so many parishioners and other donors continue to provide this support year in and year out. Through this support, the vision of our staff, as well as past and current board members, St. James's provides the highest quality early childhood program in the city of Richmond. We know this because the Children's Center was chosen as one of 3 schools in Virginia to serve as the model for other programs in our state. If the Children's Center was not available, thousands of children in our city would have entered elementary school unprepared and faced an almost impossible uphill battle. You may ask, why not just go somewhere else? Simply put, because other programs that provide this quality of an education are often too expensive or unable to accept some of our children, and those that are affordable do not provide this quality of a program. Study after study has shown the value of early childhood education. Did you know that by age 3, children with high socioeconomic status have an average vocabulary of 1,100 words, whereas children from low socioeconomic status families have an average vocabulary of only 480 words? Children who participate in early childhood development attain higher high school graduation rates, higher education levels, and higher lifetime salaries. In fact, children who enrolled in a quality preschool program ultimately earned up to $2,000 more per month than those who were unable to participate. To bring this home, we were thrilled last spring when a mother called the Children's Center to thank the teachers and the staff for the work that they had done. Her daughter was graduating magna cum laude from VCU, and she said they owed it all to the great start that she received at the Children's Center. While we could sit here and review stats all day long, at the end of the day, why is the work performed at the Children's Center and your support so important? To get to that, I would like to use my own story as an example. Hunter S. Thompson, author of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, penned one of my favorite quotes. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. Don't let the hair fool you, folks. Despite what some might say, that gray hair indicates wisdom or maturity, I assure you I possess neither. But what I do possess is an abundance of life. In high school, I drove a lime green Caprice Classic with bull horns that would have made Boss Hogg jealous. The floorboard under the passenger side seat was rotted out, and if you lifted the floor mats, you could see the road passing underneath. Or as my friends discovered, you have the perfect spot to launch fireworks at unsuspecting cars. While I was at UVA, I was often known to ride my bicycle into tour groups and crash it, or into fraternity parties to get a laugh. The upside of my adventures is that as time went on, the legends of them grew. When returning to UVA several years after graduation, a group of boys approached me and said, "Oh man, you're the guy that rode his motorcycle out of the 3rd floor window of the fraternity house." Yes, I did, I told him, while on fire. And while you'd think these shenanigans would stop at, say, marriage or having a child or 3, as my wife Carrie can attest, my ready, fire, aim approach to life leaves many people bewildered. So what's the point in telling you this? Well, for one, so you have fair warning if you ever bring your children to my house. But really, it's for a couple reasons. Growing up, I wanted to be famous, like Mick Jagger or Michael Jordan famous. I made a bet with my sister that I was going to go to the University of Tennessee and play football and break all of Johnny Jones' rushing records. This may come as a surprise to some, but I didn't make the team at Tennessee. As a matter of fact, I didn't even go to Tennessee. But that didn't stop my desire to be known. That is much of the reason that is said in today's psalm, I did not always put the Lord before me. While I may not make People magazine for fame and fortune, if I was doing crazy things, at least then a lot of people would be talking about me. And as I say, I had this deep-seated need to be known for something because I took that as adding value to my life. I'm very fortunate to have amazing parents. One of the greatest gifts that they gave me was an introduction that through Christ, I could have an abundance of life. And while there are plenty of powerful moments growing up, like many teenagers, college kids, and probably still somewhat today, I lost track of what supplied that abundance of life. As I started to understand my relationship with God, I still had this thought that I needed to fix myself before I could focus on others. I thought when God called us to be Christ-like, to bring the good news, that I needed to be holy, pure in spirit. It really wasn't until I found St. James's that things started to click for me. This congregation taught me what it is to be a doer. I learned that I didn't need to be in some sort of perfect state to serve others. In fact, that in serving others, I find God. I find that abundance of life that I sought in other ways. Through St. James's and through serving others, I have found that I want to give my life to something that matters, that God's kingdom may come on earth as it is in heaven. Mark Twain said the 2 most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you figure out why. While I may have misunderstood the why for a while, I know that I am here to bring Christ to others. I know that term sounds a bit evangelical, which may make some Episcopalians a bit uneasy, but as overused or as misapplied as those words might be, the meaning for me is very real. In that, by serving others, by providing for others, we are bringing Christ to others. We are bringing his kingdom to earth as it is in heaven. Did you know that Jesus only uses the word church 2 times? I believe that's because church is not an event on Sunday morning. It's a community that's something far more important than what hymn we'll sing, what clothes we wear, or what denomination we belong to. We are a community committed to each other, to serving one another. And we've been doing that for over 30 years through the St. James Children's Center. Through that, these amazing children know that they are loved, they are cared for spiritually, educationally, and academically, and emotionally, no matter what their background is, no matter what has happened in their life, and no matter what their financial situation might be. Through our community, we bring the good news, which is to love and care for each other. This is the work of the church, and that is the work that brings meaning to my life, and I hope brings meaning to yours as well. So thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. On behalf of the families, the staff, the board, the volunteers, and everyone involved, past and present, I proclaim, wow, what a ride.